Ladies and gentlemen, this is Intervlog. I say this is Intervlog, and I am here once more. I am here because there is one important information that I brought to you today. And this information is unbelievable. This information is a breaking news. And you would ask me, why did I say that the information is a breaking news and unbelievable at the same time? Well, it is unbelievable because people have been waiting to hear this news and somehow it disappeared on air and everybody forgot about it. And why it is going to be a breaking news is because that news people have been expecting now is on air. And you would ask me, what is that news? Well, if you can remember that since months ago, when Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali kicked French soldiers out of Sahel, they have been looking for a place to establish their military base in Africa. But all of a sudden, the news disappeared. Nobody knew whether they had found the base or not. But all of a sudden, boom, Ibrahim Traoré came out yesterday, Thursday, 11th July 2024, to make a revelation. He said France has established 2 military bases in Benin Republic. And people asked him how did he know that France had established 2 military bases in Benin Republic. He said that he has a drone that monitor everything that is happening within the West African region and also entire Africa, which is true. So this news has been causing confusion since yesterday, because it is an unbelievable news. And this is how the interview happened.
We no longer want to participate in this lying diplomacy. In an interview, we spoke about the Ivorian regime. Some Burkinabés got on their horses and criticized. I say it. I insist and I persist. We have nothing against the Ivorian people, but we have something with those who lead the Ivory Cross. We say it and we still respect it. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. There is indeed an operation center in Abidjan to destabilize our country. No one can deny it, and we will provide you with the proof in the following days. We will show you physical evidence. You will understand what we are talking about. No one will come and tell us that in Benin, there is no French base directed against us. We have the evidence at hand. 2 important bases. No one can conquer them, and I challenge them. And we have nothing against the Beninese people. There, we have a problem with the policy of Beninese leaders. And we say it loud and clear again. In this diplomacy, we decided to tell the truth. There are indeed 2 bases, one towards Kambi and the other going towards Porga, or I don't know which locality. Tracks have been redeveloped to more than 3,000 meters in length. Planes. Arfla Lira landing. People equipped and trained there. We have audio recordings of French agents in Benin there, who act as the center of operations. They set up operations with them. They help themselves. They do everything that comes there. We have all the details on them. And you don't want us to tell our people? We're going to say it. If they don't want to, they should stop behaving like this. It's simple. We did not force anyone to become independent. If you decide to stay in your situation, but don't use your countries as rear bases, because it's your populations who will suffer afterwards, and that's not a good policy. We say it from experience. And I always repeat it, Burkina has been a rear base to destabilize certain countries. And that is not good. Burkina was a rear base at one time for here. This is the price we pay. So, to warn the people of these countries that I am talking about, they must speak to their leaders and they must stop this policy because it does not suit them at all.
The Benin Republic officers came out to deny the military base to deny that their government has permitted France to build military bases in their land. But there is one thing they said, which is very important. They said that those 2 military bases Ibrahim Traoré saw with his drone does not belong to France, but belongs to Benin. Burkina Faso leader accuses Ivory Coast, Benin, of destabilizing Burkina. Burkina Faso's leader lashed out at neighboring Ivory Coast and Benin on Thursday, accusing them of trying to destabilize the country amid diplomatic tensions in West Africa. On Saturday, the military leaders ruling Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger entered a new confederation, severing ties with regional bloc ECOWAS, an organization they accused of being manipulated by France, their former colonial ruler. In a speech lasting more than 90 minutes, Captain Ibrahim Traoré outlined the major directions he wanted to take the country over the next 5 years. On the diplomatic front, he attacked the imperialists and accused them of wanting to plunder and destabilize Burkina Faso, as well as some of his West African neighbors. "We have nothing against the Ivorian people, but we do have something with those who run Ivory Coast," he said, claiming that Abidjan was hosting a center of operations to destabilize Burkina Faso. "We will show you physical evidence," he added. Traoré, who has made the sovereignty of his country a cardinal point of his governance and turned his back on France, criticized Ivory Coast for still being an ally of Paris. He also criticized Benin, saying that his neighbor hosted 2 French bases in the north of the country. He claimed that these bases were a center of operations for who regularly strike Burkina Faso. These accusations, rejected by Paris and Cotonou, were made earlier this year by Niger's Prime Minister Ali Mohamed Lamine Zain. After Niger, it is now Burkina Faso's turn to blow this nauseating trumpet of misinformation, which doesn't fuel patriotism but rather resentment among the population and ultimately threatens the peaceful coexistence of the people, said Benin government spokesman Wilfried Leandre Hungbeji on his Facebook page. According to Hungbeji, since 2022, Benin has set up small military camps called Forward Operational Bases in border towns in Burkina Faso and Niger to counter attacks that are the work of people from the 2 countries. That day, the Benin have started establishing military bases in the desert. Many African people don't believe them because Benin does not have enough soldier to establish military base in the desert. Even Nigeria does not have military base in the desert. No African country has military base in desert. And it is not only 1 base, we are talking about 2 bases. Benin does not have enough military equipment and they do not have enough money to put 2 military bases in desert that never happened in Africa. And this is the reason many people do not believe Benin Republic. So you have heard how everything is going. The speed things are happening in Africa is unbelievable. My prayer is that this thing don't lead to war. Because from what I see here, nobody knows the truth yet. There is tension in Africa. There is disunities among the African leaders. And when these 2 things happen, enemy will use it to penetrate and cause destabilization, which sometimes lead to war. If you are a Christian, or you are a Muslim, and you are an African or someone who loves Africa, go into your room and pray so that there will be no war in Africa.